I'm an administrator. I work at Hoag Hospital. We moved here for the city and for the schools and just a family environment. We really thought that this was the best place to be to raise kids. On weekends, we like to let mom sleep in and we go on our park tour.
You know, I got my kids out of LA and I came to town here, so I not only moved to Irvine, I moved away from Los Angeles. I raised 2 children here, and my oldest granddaughter was born in Irvine. I have grandchildren who compete in water polo, and they compete here, and we try to be here when they're swimming. Come here to watch my grandchildren every chance that I get. And sometimes I come here just to watch water polo or swimming. It's got energy. This place generates energy. To me, anyway, I get all charged up just sitting there watching a water polo game, even if my kids aren't in it. I have a business. There are 3 of us that own it. One of them is the former president of the Irvine Company. Guy I've known 30 years, etc. He's retired. He just wants something, a little something to do. So we're doing airplanes out at the air base.
I'm Dr. Elaine King of Irvine Odyssey Medical Center. I'm a family practice physician in Irvine, and I've been practicing since 1999. I was born in Shanghai, which is one of the largest cities in China, and my parents came here and brought us with them. So I started elementary school here, 6th grade. So University Park for elementary school, Rancho San Joaquin for middle school, Uni for high school, and then UCI for undergrad and med school. Family medicine is our own specialty, meaning that we take care of the whole family. So we have 3 to 4 generations in the same family that come here. We see newborns all the way to our patients over 100. So when they come to see me, I know their parents, I know their kids. Now one more. So we've listened to both lungs. Oftentimes I have the family come in and then we talk about nutritional as a family. That's what we do as a family practice physician, in terms of being aware of the whole picture.
Wow.
I see my mom every other day. We go shopping. There's a new shopping center, Diamond Jamboree, which has a lot of unique stores, like the first Chinese, Taiwanese bakery that's so traditional. It's like our #1 selling coffee place, but it's the first one in North America.
Hi, my name is Massis, and this is the very first printing press I started with in 1989 right here in Irvine. I started with this because that's all I could afford, $700. About 20 years ago, the computer industry changed how we print. So this is a digital plate setter. We've got black and white digital presses, and we also have a color digital press. This is a high-speed, high-volume black and white copier that produces 130 sheets per minute. We're about to walk into the press room where we do offset printing, which is ink on paper. Here we go. So what gets me going is to go back there and smell the shop and hear the loud presses running all day long and just see the busy hubbub back there, and it's just great. I love the energy. So what you see here is an offset printing press that feeds a 23 by 29 inch sheet size, and each one of these units that you see here represents an ink color that applies ink to a sheet of paper at about 14,000 impressions per hour. Smell that ink. Where else could I grow my business that offers such a diversified client base as Irvine?
All right, you guys ready to go park? All right, here we go. We'll wake up early either on a Saturday or Sunday morning and get the boys all ready, let mom sleep in, and we can go out and do our park tour. So we like to go to the park that my son likes to call the pool park, the snail park, the roly-poly park, and the tunnel park. Underneath you, whoa! It's a little slippery this morning. It's a little slippery for up. Do you like to climb? Did you guys have fun snail hunting?
Yeah, let's look for more snails.
He's coming out to say hi. There's a baby snail. I guess that's why we call it snail park, isn't it? Is this why we call it snail park? All right. You can take your snails to the next park.
We're coming up to the roly-poly park.
Jiggle. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Let's dig a big hole. Let's look for some roly-polies. Where are the roly-polies?
There.
Okay.
I found a roly-poly.
You did? Let's see him. Wow, he's a big one.
Hey,
Hey.
that's not a roly-poly. Turtle park.
We just like to have some time where it's just the boys. We can go out, have fun, enjoy each other. Careful. Careful. Oh, good job. Did you have fun on our park tour?
So, yeah. Hey, there's some more parks.
There's more parks. I know, we just don't have enough time for them all. So where else can you live and go to that many parks in one morning?
On my off time, what I really enjoy doing are a number of things. Cooking, riding motorcycles, camping, and one of my deepest passions is gardening. My family and I have come to the Great Park for a number of events ever since it opened. And one day we were here for the farmers market and saw the Farm and Food Lab and realized what a great place to go and learn about gardening. I knew that they had a farm and a food lab, and I knew that they were going to have gardening plots, but I didn't know that they had master gardeners. So it's a great resource for me to come and visit them and ask them the questions that they're here to answer. I came here today to see if I can get some help with my soil, as well as learning how to prune, especially in the off season now that it's fall, preparing it for the next season. And what can I plant that would do well in the wintertime with not very much light?
Well, not very much light. You're kind of limited to your greens. So most of your greens will take definitely partial sunlight.
Okay.
So collard, mustard, your lettuces, those types of things.
Spinach and
Spinach,
that kind of thing.
definitely.
As a child, my dad had a garden, and so as I grew up, I started my own garden in my family. Gardening to me is therapeutic. I get to get away from the work-related things that I do all day long, and I just get to get my hands dirty and kind of feel the dirt and, and get those veggies going. And I just like to get away from everything, and it's a therapeutic way for me to get a little release.
You can always add a soil conditioner to it or a soil amendment, and worm composting, that's why I brought you over here. Worm composting is one of the greatest, most beneficial ways to put nutrients back into your garden.
The master gardeners are very knowledgeable. They know every single plant, and they know exactly how to take care of them, how to feed them, how to make sure the moisture levels are correct. I'm really impressed. These guys are professionals. I'd love to know that my kids, when they choose a place to live, that they make sure that they've got a nice spot in their backyard for a good vegetable garden, and they'll be able to teach their children how to grow their own vegetables too.
We have an old hangar which we're using now that has a bunch of tools in it, and it has the 3 airplanes. We will take one of those old hangars and convert it so we can use it for a museum. We'll set up an educational program. We've already got a couple of airplanes, so we'll get some more airplanes. I'm really lucky at 82 to be involved with something like this. Mr. O'Hara and I are, yes, I would say partners. He has actually started 2 military museums, plus he's a retired Marine Corps aviator. I'm trying to learn the business. I've never been involved with a museum. I was not a pilot, I did something else other than flying airplanes. And so I have a lot to learn. And a good way to do that is to be with someone like this who can teach you.
This is where the wings attach to the fuselage.
Oh, I see.
After we get the fuselage on the landing gear. And we're prepping this area so that once we attach the wings, we don't have to worry about any corrosion problems.
It gets me out of the house, let's face it. The other thing I do, which is really fun, is talk about it. So I talk to almost anyone that I meet. They're saying, what do you do, Bill? They know that I really retired 3 years ago. I can say, I'm messing with the airplanes. We're going to do this thing out of the base. I mean, kids and people love airplanes just like they love fire engines. So, you know, the educational opportunities are huge. But what an opportunity. Where else could I be part of a group that initiates an air museum and all the programs that go with it?
There's a new shopping center, Diamond Jamboree, which has a lot of unique stores like 85 Degrees, which is a coffee place.
It's like Starbucks in Asia. There's one in each corner of the street.
Is the only one that's traditional Taiwanese and Chinese coffees and pastries. They make it constantly, like every 10 minutes, hot bread comes out. Okay, let's see. Do you like this one? I think you like this one, the garlic cheese one. Okay, yeah, you get it. The egg tart, we actually grew up with that in Shanghai, the egg tart.
Yeah. So let's
one for me, one for you.
Okay.
Some of them, it's like a meal because they have the hot dog ones, and which is really good. And I love it when they come out with their fresh plate and they go, hot bread. Let's go wait in line. You want me to hold it on? Okay. Here, I'll hold it. So you can drink your coffee.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go wait in line. We talk about everything, so about my friends, you know, whose baby's acting up today.
By the way, how's June doing now?
She's very busy being, you know, a mom of a 1-year-old. Her daughter, you know, shares my same birthday. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
So
how time flies.
Yeah, I know.
We go shopping. She cooks.
Want some apples?
Yeah, apples. I learn how to cook. This is one of my absolute favorite dishes, especially when my mommy cooks it. And basically, she'll marinate it and cook it with some potatoes and carrots.
I don't marinate it.
Well, I don't know what you do, but it tastes delicious.
And cut it diagonally or something like that?
Yeah. Well, you make it look pretty. I eat at my mom's place at least four nights a week. Yeah.
And I love to cook, so I don't mind. And yeah, it's the chance that I can talk to her and spend some time with her. So I'm very happy when she says, Mom, I'm coming back for dinner.
Where else could I enjoy this lifestyle and at the same time feeling completely safe walking my dog 10 o'clock at night?